Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone. Welcome to your number one source for Native American television news. It's Muskogee Vision. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, as we join you here in the Muskogee Media Studios for this week's edition of the show, and we've got a really good show for you this week. We're going to take you down first, down to my neck of the woods, old stomping grounds down there, Eufaula, Oklahoma, as we've seen something come to fruition that the tribe has really been looking forward to for quite some time, and I know the community of Eufaula has. That is the brand new Eufaula Indian Health Center that is now up and running down there in Eufaula. A lot of work has went into this over the years. It's a joint venture between the tribe and the Indian Health Services, and just a lot of people down last week, or a couple weeks ago actually, for this big event as they cut the ribbon and really opened up this beautiful new Eufaula Indian Health Center there in the community of Eufaula, Oklahoma.
I look around and see a lot of the people that I know, and I think the importance of this opening isn't lost upon any of us. Many of us remember the first presence of the Indian Health Service here in Eufaula when they rented a little rickety storefront downtown Eufaula many years ago. And then we subsequently were able to have a clinic built just up on the hill here. And people were so proud of that clinic when it was built. And it's only 5,000 square feet. And we're standing in front of the new Indian Health Center that's over 70,000 square feet. So I'm very pleased to be a part of the ceremony today and seeing this open, not for the progress that we've made, but the progress that's leading to us providing you better service. And so it makes me very proud that you're here today, and we hope that we do our best every day to take care of you.
We're so proud to have a facility like this to help provide best health care to our citizens that they deserve. A little history about this as well is that when we were small children, my brother, my sister, and I, my mom worked at the clinic in Eufaula. She was an LPN. So we grew up knowing the staff real close and the docs and all the nurses, and we actually learned how to take blood pressure. So it actually taught us a lot of things, and so we're very, very proud of the facility. We walked through, actually, Daryl Proctor and I walked through last Friday, and to see the size of the building that's going to take care of our citizens is amazing. The room for our staff is amazing. I couldn't believe the comparison of, as Chief said, from 5,000 square foot to over 70,000 square foot. You could put it 10 times in here, and it will really better our citizens' health care. This will also better the care and create jobs in this area that we need. And our town, our citizens are very, very proud to have it. So we thank you very, very much.
This new facility is a joint venture. What that means is that the Indian Health Service and Muskogee Creek Nation, they go into a joint planning effort to figure out how to build the building to this size, who's going to pay for the building, and which Creek Nation usually puts the facility money up, and then Indian Health Service comes behind us and helps us with the operations of this. So this is a true partnership, and it's really a testament to when you work together what you can accomplish there. So once again, thank you for that. But today and after this ribbon cutting is really where the hard work begins. And I'm going to speak just a little bit to the staff, and the challenge is that We have to deliver greater access to health care in this community, and the staff, you're going to be responsible for that, and you have to hit those. You have to keep that in mind. We have to deliver high quality care. So to the medical staff, we have to watch how we do this. And the quality is just as important as having access. And we have to do this with compassion and humility. So to all of that, once again, thank you for being here today.
I can remember as a young man growing up, my father had this favorite saying he would say to me. We'd be out at the lake and we'd be in the boat. He'd say, jump in the boat. Well, if you fall out and hit your head, we'll go to the clinic. I'd be on a rock, we'd be jumping into the lake. He'd say, well, if you hit your head, we'll go to the clinic. And I think what that tells us is that these programs, these facilities, the healthcare systems to American Indians in Oklahoma are fabric of the family. And they are fabric of where we live, why we live places, what we do, that there's not a day that doesn't go by where there's some discussion about health and the health of the family and the services and the things that you provide here in these clinics. They truly are a fabric of our communities and our families. And so I'm excited today to see this facility to be completed, and excited as a member of the Indian Health Service to be able to continue to advocate for and provide the staffing dollars and operation dollars as we move forward with this program. On behalf of the Director of Field Operations for the Indian Health Service, Kevin Meeks, I'm honored to be here with you to celebrate this occasion. And I would like to thank the Muskogee Creek Nation for allowing the Oklahoma City Area Indian Health Service to celebrate this day and partner with them. While you've heard Secretary Terry and you've heard Chief Floyd speak about the partnership of the program, we're glad to partner, but I want to make sure that it's very clear and make no question about it. Without the Muskogee Creek Nation's sovereignty, their leadership, their vision, their commitment, and overall operational capacity, we would not be celebrating today. Truly, they are the leaders in this joint venture and what you see standing behind us today. So, on behalf of the Indian Health Service to the Muskogee Creek Nation, thank you very much. We appreciate being involved in this partnership. Would like to also thank the Oklahoma City Area IHS staff for their ongoing support of this project as well. We've had staff make sure that this was a priority within the Oklahoma City area office, and will continue to be a priority for this program and this facility as we move through the partnership with you over the years. Just because the facility is built and ready to go doesn't mean that our partnership ends there, and we will continue to partner in any way we possibly can. What we're really celebrating today is that we now see the shape of the future of the medical home for tens of thousands of patients. And I want to emphasize the word home, because since 1974, when the Eufaula Indian Health Center was built, this has been a place that's truly been a home for a lot of patients. So we know within the facility across the road and in town, and this new facility today, it's a place where young couples were told they were going to have a child and that they were pregnant. It's a place where babies were brought in for their first appointments. It's a place where care is given. It's a place where we've cried with our community. It's a place where we've laughed with our patients. It's a place where we have mended broken bones, a place where we have given good and bad news to patients. It's a place of hope for the sick, and a place of physical, mental, spiritual, and social healing for our elders. A place where patients have come from all over to feel welcomed and have been given outstanding quality care in a safe environment. And while a home is a place where you live, a home is a place where you also feel you belong. And this place and these facilities are truly home for many of us, because at the end of the day, the new and expanded Muskogee Creek Nation Eufaula Indian Health Center on 500 Eunice Burns Road in Eufaula, if they haven't renamed the road yet, I'm not sure, welcomes us without judgment, regardless of resources. It will now welcome even more American Indians and Alaska Natives without barriers, and provide the citizens of the Muskogee Creek Nation and many others even better and expanded types of care. We now have an over 73,000 square foot facility in comparison to the small facility we discussed earlier. I've got 6,100, but Those are probably government numbers. It could have been 5. But this beautiful facility will provide us a place of healing like no other before it in this and the surrounding communities. So on behalf of the Indian Health Service, I would like to thank the Muskogee Creek Nation again for their unwavering commitment to this project and leadership, which is demonstrated here today by celebrating this milestone in this finished construction.
It has services ranging from primary care, dental, physical therapy, nursing, behavioral health. We have a state-of-the-art fitness center, pharmacy. So it's going to be a very comprehensive place for our citizens and patients to go and get really state-of-the-art care in state-of-the-art facilities. We're going to have the majority of the operation open next week, hopefully. On Monday, dental is going to take us a couple of weeks. We have some things that we're just trying to put some finishing touches on back there, so it may be 2 weeks before we get dental fully open. But starting on Monday, we'll be up and running everywhere else. The medical staff we've always had trouble stabilizing it, and just the complete lack of space and care has been inadequate. So really the funding that we're getting from Indian Health Service, the construction of the new facility, we're really going to focus in on trying to stabilize the medical staff so that our patients can see the same providers each and every time that they come. The expansion of dental, the expansion of pharmacy, the expansion of behavioral health is just so vital to the overall importance for our community. And I'm just so happy that Muskogee Creek Nation's the leader in providing that care here.
Again, thank you to all the great people down there making it happen in Eufaula, and congratulations to the health system here at Creek Nation. Well, our next story, our last story actually, is an in-depth look at a tragic happening of one of Indian country's most popular figures, Mr. Chance Rush. He's a personal friend of mine, but he's a motivational speaker around the country to different tribes. His mother tragically passed away, and the details surrounding her death coming to light have really shed a lot of light, and it's been a big news story here in Oklahoma, and here's the story now. Chance Lee Rush is a motivational speaker and citizen of the 3 affiliated tribes of North Dakota. He travels throughout the United States and Canada to work with Native communities in efforts to inspire, heal, motivate, and energize. He was doing just that on the evening of May 1st when he received news that would forever change his life. His mother, Donna, had been killed in a car accident back home.
You know, it was leading up to, I was on a 3-day trip. I left, my mom came up to watch my kids in Tulsa. And I was on day 2 of a 3-day trip. I went up to up north to the Lower Sioux community, Morton, Minnesota. And it was ironic because that night I spoke on parenting, and my mom happened to be at the house with our daughter, with my 2 daughters and my son. And I just called her up the night before, and I said, you know, Mom, thank you for bringing me up right, and kind of celebrated her, you know. And you know, we got off the phone, and you know, that was it.
Chance pointed out the irony of not only speaking on parenting this same tragic night, but also how grateful he was to be able to receive instruction from his mother one last time.
Leading up to it was just, I remember that we talked, you know, a few hours before it happened. She was leaving my home. She hugged all of my children and just kind of left some rules for us, you know, like throw your leftovers away before you, you know, after 3 days, and, you know, stay in your son's life constantly, you know, like he's the only boy in the house, so just always be around him. And, you know, make sure you just, whatever you gotta do to take care of your wife, and you know that. And it was crazy because it seemed like she was giving me instructions. And so after we hung up and got off the phone, she went home. I was on her way home, and she normally calls when she gets home. And this time, you know, she never called, and I got a phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, with the news.
Adding to the tragedy of Donna Rush's death was the fact that she was killed by a drunk driver. According to news reports, Arthur Wesley Strela of Edmond struck Rush from behind in his Porsche at a speed exceeding 140 miles an hour. Strela was then released to a family member and was driven home despite a trooper writing in a search warrant that Strela was under the effects of alcohol to an extreme degree. According to the Oklahoman, Oklahoma Highway Patrol cited a miscommunication between troopers as to why Strela was not immediately arrested. A warrant for his arrest for first-degree manslaughter, DUI, and reckless driving was filed on May 4th, and he was arrested on May 7th, 6 days after the accident, and posted a $25,000 bond. On August 6th, KFOR in Oklahoma City reported that Strela will now stand trial for second-degree murder, and his bail has been denied.
Well, yesterday, the Donna Rush family had the opportunity to meet with the district attorney, Mr. Prater, and to express their concerns about, and to try to learn more about the process that, the criminal justice process that Mr. Strela is going through. And they made clear to him that they did not want to see him get any privileges because of his wealth. And they were assured that that would not be the case, and they expressed their confidence in the district attorney that he was going to aggressively prosecute this case. And I agree that we should have they should have confidence in the district attorney moving forward. Now, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, how they handled the case on the evening that Ms. Rush was killed is an entirely different matter. So that was handled in a way that led to Mr. Strela, even though he was drunk and driving 140 miles an hour in his Porsche, and that led to his conduct led to the passing of Ms. Rush. He was released and not even arrested on that evening. And so I think the family has rightfully expressed their concerns about that. And again, that Mr. Strela should not be given any privilege because of his wealth. And so they made their views clear to the district attorney about that. And he was very understanding. I will say that the family was satisfied with their first meeting with the district attorney and his handling of this and his responses to their question. So after we met with the district attorney, we went into the bond hearing and arraignment. And so Mr. Strela was there they had other bond hearings go on. For the other defendants, they were in orange suits because they had been in jail for different offenses. And even though Mr. Strela had been charged with second-degree murder, he had bonded out and was in instead of an orange suit, he was in a regular men's suit with a tie on. And his attorney, Mr. Coyle, I believe, argued that he should be that they should maintain the existing bond and that he should continue to stay out of jail. And that the district attorney argued that no, that bond should not be, there should be no bond in this circumstance. But if if the judge were to decide that there was a bond, that they would consider things like house arrest or wearing an ankle bracelet that would indicate whether or not, if he had drank any alcohol, it would test immediately and they would know immediately if he was drinking again, that he would not drive a vehicle. There would be a number of stipulations if he were to be bonded out. The judge, in a kind of lengthy ruling from the bench, denied the motion of the defendants and decided that he would not receive bond. So he was taken to jail. But before he was taken to jail, his attorney asked the judge for the opportunity for Mr. Strela to address the Rush family, which he did. And it was a very emotional moment. Mr. Strela turned and he addressed the Rush family and apologized to them for his conduct. And so that's what happened. The story of that and their reactions to that are better told by, I think, the family members themselves. But it was a very emotional time. And so the family members there, and by the way, I will say that the district attorney, after the hearing, told the Rush family about how impressive they are and how their presence there made a difference with the court, because in many circumstances, you don't have any reflection of who the victim is. In this case, Donna Rush, for the family members that were able to be there, were honorably represented by, they honorably represented Donna Rush at this hearing. And I believe that was impactful. So they have had an opportunity to tell their stories to the district attorney. That conversation will continue. And they continue to seek justice for the loss of their mother and their sister.
According to Chance Rush, he's not wasting energy on the circumstances of his mother's death, preferring to let things beyond his control take care of themselves.
You know, there was a lot of emotions that I was going through, but nothing outweighed, knowing that my mom's not here anymore. And so the best thing that I could do is just keep my family sane, keep my family focused. Spent a lot of time with my wife and my children, and then just always, stayed close with my siblings. Took care, just did what I could to take care of, what we could at the time. But also, I realized you have to let the system run its course, because it's gonna run its course. And the only thing that I could do is, keep it together and love my family, and just know that there's an awesome lady in heaven. And to me, that's the ultimate justice, is knowing that she's in a better place and that she left behind some great substance that I can share with other people. So to be honest with you, I just kind of let that run that way, and I can only do what I can do. I can't make phone calls and try to change things and yell around or anything. All I could do is do what my mom, taught me, and that's be a good person, whether through good times, whether through bad times, But if there's anything, that went on with the miscommunication or whatever it may be, the thing that I would say is just, let everything play out. That's the only thing that you can do, is let things play out, and just be strong. Not get over something, but just be strong. So
the Donna Rush family will have opportunities to engage the district attorney on a continuing basis. He has promised that they will have a voice in what happens and the decisions that he makes. Now, he will make the ultimate decision about what will be done on behalf of the citizens of the state of Oklahoma. But he's promised the Rush family they will have a role and be able to talk to him before he makes any decisions. So I think that's good for the family. As far as other remedies along the way that they will, I think the Donna Rush family intends to aggressively pursue every opportunity to seek out justice for the loss of this sweet-spirited, beautiful woman who I think was listening. I knew Donna Rush. She's also Otto, Missouri, and she was a beautiful, sweet-spirited woman. And I think that her family, talking to them about their mother, she was defined by her faith as a woman of faith. And so her loss is a loss not only to her family, but also to the Cheyenne Arapaho community, the Otto, Missouri community, the Native community generally. And it's my impression that Native people from across the state and maybe even across the country are watching this case to ensure that the family of Donna Rush receives justice for what happened.
For Chance, his initial reaction upon learning the news provided him with perspective on the greatest gift his mother had left him, his spiritual strength.
Normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to jump up and get your clothes and try to get to the quickest airport, or find a rental car and drive home. And that was in my mind. That was something I was going to do. My mom brought me up in a powerful way, in a real spiritual way, and she always taught me, never back down. Any situation you're in, never back down. So when that happened, initially, that's what I was going to do. I was going to just find a way to get back to Oklahoma. I mean, I'm 15 hours away. It was crazy. I hung up the phone with my brother after he told me, and just was still in shock. And I tried to cry, wanted to cry, but I was just angry and hurt. And it was crazy. I know that, you know, I do crazy stuff. Like I started doing push-ups out of nowhere. I just started doing push-ups just because the adrenaline was there. So when I was doing those push-ups, I heard my mom's voice. She says, "Don't go home." She said, "You go to Red Lake. You know, you go up there. There's somebody up there that needs you. There's somebody up there that needs to hear your words. There's somebody up there who's hurt. There's somebody up there who's broken, and you're a vessel." I've always told you that. I could just hear my mom's voice while I was doing these push-ups. So I get up, I go work out like a normal day. I go back to the hotel. I'm driving from Morton, Minnesota up to Red Lake. I cry the whole way except for the last hour just because I'm all cried out. And when I get up there to Red Lake, I'm the MC of a fashion show honoring our women. And after the fashion show was over, I saw so many grandmas come out from behind the curtains, so many granddaughters come from out behind the curtains, and I'm the MC of this whole thing. And just as I was about to break, Little Bear, the drum group up in Red Lake, started singing a women's song honoring all the ladies who were at this fashion show. And it just brought me back up. The Spirit just brought me back up, you know? And so I was able to take care of my responsibility because my mom's already in heaven, you know? So I was able to take care of the responsibility. And after that, I was able to go back for, you know, the services. But, you know, just in that moment, you know, whenever you're supposed to, you know, get home quickly, you know, I found a peace that my mom shared with me and that God helped guide me. And that was, you know, do your duties and then come home and take on. I just really feel like when you're a spiritual person, you're gonna heal different. If you're a spiritual person and you invest in your spirituality and you're obedient to your spirituality, you know, it's not that, you know, you're not sad and it's not that you have thick skin, but it's more of when you're obedient to spirituality, you know, God will see you through, you know, horrific and tragic tragedy, such as my mother's. And, you know, I'm in a great place now. I'm in a great place because my mom taught me spirituality, so.
I want to thank the Rush family, specifically their Chance and their attorney, Wilson Pipestem, for having me up in Tulsa and allowing me to get some comments from them on this really difficult piece of news here. But definitely wanted to cover that, and we'll have details of that as they become available. We will have them on MuskogeeMedia.com. Everybody out there, stay with MuskogeeMedia.com throughout the week. And we've got things coming up every day that we are reporting on that come on the website. Also, continue to watch us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. You'll get all of our content on demand right there in the palm of your hand. For Jared Moore, I'm Jason Salzman. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time here on Muskogee Vision.